but now they are starting to open up, although today's government doesn't help them.
On May 15, 2024, Robert Fica was shot. The shooter was a 71-year-old man who admittedly acted because Fica wanted to stop the military aid to Ukraine. Fica survived, and a few months later he flew to Moscow to shake hands with Vladimir Putin. Fica has an anti-EU vision and he wants to bring his country back under the influence of Russia. He later would say in a public conference that Putin had been unfairly demonized. Fica went on with his policies. He abolished a very important public institution that was fighting the corruption. He diminished the press freedom of the country. In January of this year, some big protests started. Tens of thousands of people went in the squares, in the streets, to protest against Robert Fica. Most of these people were pro-Ukraine and people that didn't want that their country would go back under the influence of Russia. Now, I can't talk any longer about politics because it's not my thing. What I can do, I can show you the capital city of Fica's country. Welcome to Bratislava. I absolutely love this kind of architecture. Do you know the name of this building? Do you know the name? It's like old communist architecture. Radio. Old, very old building.
Old building.
Communism era.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you. The city center, which direction is it?
What?
City center. What's the main center with all the monuments?
I don't know.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. This is Marianska ulica. We are literally 1 minute from the old town. Would you go to spend your time in the poker club in Bratislava? Well, even if you do, you can't because it's closed, it's shut down. There you go, Bratislava city center. Thank you, Robert Fica. Trcenica. What's that? Supermarket? Maybe a mall? Oh, that's a nice bus cafe. Let's take a look. Very cute. Okay, let's check it out. Cambridge. It's open or not? I think it's closed. Yeah. Wow. This is the university, and this is very old-fashioned communist style. Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find some monument of the communism?
I don't think there's anything.
Right, nothing. Okay, thank you. The funny thing is that I asked to those girls where I could find some communist monuments, and they had a communist mosaic on their back and one old communist sculpture just there. Look at that. They live surrounded by communist architecture, by old communist sculptures. But if you ask them about something like that, they don't know, because these people grew up with the idea that the communism was the past. So they don't wanna, probably their parents don't wanna remember those years. And the new generation, rightly, they want to look at the future, they want to look forward. And for them, when you say something like communism, they kind of frown. They say, kind of, oh, what you talking about? Check it out, guys. This is Bratislava. Look at that. I absolutely love this kind of architecture. Don't get me wrong. But don't tell me that this city has completely cut the ties with the past. Excuse me, do you know this block is like all the communist architecture? Because I come from Argentina and I want to make picture.
Ah, ¿verdad? Yo no tengo ni idea.
Ah, ¿tú de
Solo
dónde?
llegué ahorita desde Viena.
Ah, ¿de dónde sois?
Yo de Austria.
De Austria.
Sí.
Ah, ok.
Mi primera vez acá en Eslovaquia, entonces no tengo ni
No
idea.
sabes mucho, ok.
No sé nada.
¿Qué veniste con bicicleta de Austria?
Sí, de Viena.
Wow.
Como 4 o 5 horas y es la primera vez que me bajo desde mi casa. Entonces ahora me estoy muriendo, pero estoy muy feliz de llegar.
Hablas muy bien español, ¿eh?
Gracias.
¿Dónde aprendiste? ¿En España?
México.
That girl came from Vienna to Bratislava by bike. Guys, this is your ordinary afternoon in Bratislava. Wow, look at these benches. I absolutely love them. Here there are no coffee shops, no restaurant, nothing. There are no shops at all, and this is the center. I mean, comparing to Budapest, that even if you go outside the center, there are a lot of cafes, a lot of restaurants, little shops. Here, there is absolutely nothing, just big communist buildings. And this is a capital of the center of Europe, because Slovakia technically is Central Europe, okay? That's why if you say to them you are from Eastern Europe, they get mad, because geographically they are from the center of Europe. But I would say, as a tradition, culturally, they are from Eastern Europe. And I think Slovakia got a lot of money from European Union. This is very Soviet. This city has not been renovated at all. I mean, comparing to Poland, where all the buildings are new, in Bratislava is still probably like 30 years ago, 50 years ago. I'm pretty sure this building has never been renovated, okay? This is so Soviet. Now let's go in a real suburb to see the real Bratislava. Alright, so welcome to the suburb of Bratislava. I don't know the name of this neighborhood, but let's have a look. That building is quite nice. Alright, this neighborhood looks like all the other post-Soviet neighborhoods. And that's it, guys. This is how people live in a middle suburb of Bratislava. Big buildings, no shops, no restaurants, no coffee shop, no cafes, nothing. Just these very old communist buildings. People live there, of course. Some other buildings are probably institutions or schools, maybe big, I don't know, sport center. That's a barber, they say barber. Yeah, this is a barber and cosmetic, but looks like it's shut down. Yeah, so a lot of businesses also in Slovakia are being shut down. And here we have a Chinese restaurant that I'm sure has seen better days, because looks like it's been shut down since a lot of time. Yeah, there's nobody here. I mean, no, guys, it's closed. It's a ghost town. Just some babushka walking by. We are back in the 90s, when the Berlin Wall had just fallen, and these places, these cities, still had, you know, those very old-fashioned kind of shops and restaurants, but they were slowly dying. And the thing is, nobody took over these businesses, because why don't make in that restaurant a new restaurant, more modern, okay? Why don't put in this neighborhood some coffee shop, some, I don't know, pub? This is a big suburb with where a lot of people live, so I don't understand why that, okay? It's a bit weird. Okay, guys, this is Bratislava. Look at this restaurant. This has been here probably since the good old Soviet years. Now tell me if this is not nostalgia about the Soviet times. Because again, if you go to countries like Poland, this kind of Soviet memories are no longer there. Excuse me, the old town is there, yes?
The old town?
Old
yes,
town.
that way.
Okay, because I'm making, you know where there's some old communist structure, so I'm making a little documentary because I come from far away, you know?
Okay, yes.
Do you know which part of the city?
Is the most communist?
Yeah.
I think Petržalka, which is the other side of the Danube.
Okay, okay, you have to cross the river,
Yes,
yes?
there are several buses that go to Petržalka.
Okay.
And there you can find these block buildings.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So you think your city is still under the communist, you know, as a big communist atmosphere, or you thinking more about
I think it's,
Europe?
I think, okay, so are we talking about the architecture or the identity of the people?
The identity of the people.
I think the communist era had a very big impact on the people's minds when it comes to their freedom and abilities.
Okay.
But now they are starting to open up.
All right.
Although I would say that today's government doesn't help that.
Yeah, I know.
Because
I
they
heard
are
that.
quite conservative.
Yeah.
And I think they are just strengthening that communist impact.
Yeah, yeah.
But since we are the member of the European Union, I think that's still in the people's minds, you know.
Thank you very much for the
You're
info.
welcome.
And that's why the legend is very, very strong that Saint Michael is definitely protecting this gate and so it is protected. And you can actually see on the side of this gate that small island